Okay, we're poolside again with Shane Smith talking Hawaiian Ironman. We've gone through the blokes. We are going to have a chat about the girls and, of course, the big name in Ironman racing for the women, Chrissy Wellington. Shane, can she be beaten?
Chrissy who? Seriously, yeah. She's amazing, isn't she?
Yeah.
She's possibly going to go down as one of the greatest we've ever seen, up there with the likes of Paula Newby-Fraser and Natasha Badman. So, yeah, she is. She's an amazing athlete. Can anyone beat her? Possibly. Will they? No, I don't know. I'm not real sure, to be honest.
Is it the Tiger Woods thing? You know, when they see the name Tiger Woods on the leaderboard and people freak out because he's out in front, everyone thinks there's no chance of me getting to him. Is it the same thing with her, that they know she's not the strongest swimmer in the field, but she's going to mow them down on the bottom?
Yeah, it could be. It could be a bit like that. I think the girls are trying to change that, though. Like, I caught up with Jo Vaughan in New Zealand, and she sort of said, well, she's changed her training because of the Chrissy factor a little bit, and she was looking at different ways. So they're not rolling over and saying, oh, you're going to win this. They're looking at ways to beat her. They know she's the girl to beat. I know Beck Keith's been over in Europe training with Brett Sutton and training really, really hard to try and turn the tables, and she lowered the gap a little bit. I think she was about 18 minutes behind at Ironman Australia, and she was about 8 minutes behind at Ironman Germany, at Wrochna, sorry.
And that was a big race, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Really, I mean,
for the girls it was.
And everyone was talking Chrissy Wellington's broken the world record, but she's just behind her was Beck Keith, and had Chrissy stumbled at any time, there was Beck Keith ready to go.
Yeah, when Beck Keith won at Western Australia a few years ago, I honestly thought she'd be the next Australian to win Kona. I thought she has that sort of talent. Like, at that time, she hadn't been beaten over half Ironman distance race for about 4 or 5 years, and she certainly has a talent. At times, I think, though, she probably hasn't had the mindset to do it, and now that she's been over in Europe with Brett, I think that's changed. Well, I can just hear it, I can see it in her emails and hear it in her voice, and she seems to be more focused on what she's doing. She wants it so badly now, and we all know the rough trot that she's had and things that have happened and all the rest, so we won't go into it now, but that is just acting as a spur to her, and she's just getting more and more confident in her ability to do well against the best in the world. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting showdown between those two.
Now, one of the fastest bike riders in the world for the girls, Belinda Granger. Yep. She's been around for a long time, and she's just raced. Her last 2 seasons have been amazing. I mean, she's winning.
10 seasons really have been incredible. Yeah.
Is she a hope of podium? Is she a genuine hope of getting on the podium?
Yeah, I think so. I do. And the reason I think she might this year is because she had the accident and she had her surgery. She probably hasn't cooked herself. So by the time she gets to Hawaii, this won't be her 5th Ironman for the year.
Yeah.
And I actually think that might work in her favour, because she has been racing a lot. Like, if we really look through her results and her race starts over the years, I wasn't joking, and it's usually Hawaii using her 5th Ironman for the year, or her 4th Ironman. So I reckon, look, now that she's a little bit older and all the rest of it, she doesn't need to do that.
Yeah.
So she'll get to Kona, I think, find hopefully renewed energy.
Yeah.
And she had a bit of a tough Kona last year too. Yeah. So
she was cooked though, wasn't she?
She was, yeah. She was tired.
Yeah.
And I think she'll come back and she'll do really, really well. So, I'm excited for her.
Well, I mean, look, and she's someone too who you just want to see get on the podium. It's a reward for effort.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
she's amazing.
Yeah, no one deserves it more, really. Like, she trains so hard. She's devoted her whole life to this. She's put a lot of things on hold in her own personal life to try and achieve the best that she can. And she knows she's not the most talented athlete out there. She's not a Chrissy Wellington who'll swim, ride and run with the best in the world. She knows she has to grind down. She's a tremendous bike rider, of course, but she has to work hard on her running and all the rest of it. If you had to think of all the people in our sport who've made the most out of their ability, Belinda Granger's in, and when she retires, she can walk away and say, I gave it everything I had, and she's had a tremendous career. It's been amazing, yeah.
Another one who's become a little bit of a dark horse is Mirinda Carfrae, of course, world 70.3 champion. The Kona experience, though, it's proven to have broken so many first-timers, and it's, for her, it might be a learning experience, but gee, she's got all the talent in the world.
Oh, she has, exactly. And depending on how she's approaching it, I'm sure she's got good people around her. I'm sure she's not going out there thinking, okay, I'm going to win this thing. So she'll be looking at it as an experience thing. And it'd be similar to, I see her similar to maybe Andy Potts in the men's.
Yep.
Last year he went there, not with massive expectations, but just going there to learn it, and then had a pretty solid day, finishing in the top 10. I expect maybe Marinda will do something similar to that, but probably pushing more to the top 5. So.
She's a very, very quick runner.
She is,
if you've ever seen her run, it's amazing.
And you've got to run in Kona. If you can't run in Kona, you don't really do well. It doesn't matter how good a bike rider you are, they eventually run you down. You're going to Kona this year, and it's amazing to watch. You see all the guys coming off the bike in the lead, and how quickly the gap between them and the good runners who may be in the second pack shrinks so quickly. Within 2 miles, you go, oh, geez, that time is just gone. And it's emphasised more in Kona because of the stifling heat. So when you see it this year, it's amazing how quickly it just shrinks up so quickly.
And it's never over till it's over. I mean, Chrissy Wellington, even though she is all conquering, I mean, until she gets across the line, we're not going to be none the wiser.
No, that's right, and we've seen it for years. I just wrote an article recently for Australian Triathlon magazine, sort of a little bit of the history on the Ironman, and there's so many parts of that story when I was writing it about people who got to about 400 metres to the finish line and didn't quite make it. And look at Julie Moss, who back in the 80s, and then of course Paul and Newby Fraser in 95, and you got the Chris Lee incident in 96, and it's littered with people who have got close and then it hasn't really worked out for them. So, like you said, it's not over till it's over when you're in Kona.
Well, she certainly is an imposing figure on the sport of triathlon, Chrissy, and no doubt everyone will be out to beat her. Shane Smith for tritravel.com.au and Phil Wrochna for firstoffthebike.com, bringing you all the action from Kona.